My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for staying with us. Member of Parliament for Wenchi, Professor Gyan-Baffour, has described the current state of the nation as chaotic and in a very bad state. This was his argument in the opening defense for the State of the Nation address presented to Parliament by the President on Tuesday.
Mr. Speaker, on education, the President's vision on education is to have quality education and access for all children to basic education. And Mr. Speaker, basic education by the President is defined as education from kindergarten up to senior high school. And in that light, the President told us once again that he was emphatic that SHS, the free SHS, will begin with entrance to SHS in the 2017-2018 academic year. Mr. Speaker, on health, the most important factor that prevents people from accessing health in this country is the cost. The national health insurance is the answer. But Mr. Speaker, the health scheme itself is not healthy. The President assured us, informed all Ghanaians, that the scheme will be restored into good health. Touching on national security, Mr. Speaker, the President is prepared to make the Ghana Armed Forces combat ready by providing the necessary resources that they need to do that. The police force is prepared to hire more policemen so that you can actually meet the target of one policeman, police officer to 500 citizens of this country. This is the President who cares about the people of this country. Mr. Speaker, the President echoed his belief for freedom and the democratic process where the rule of law always remains the guiding principles of governance. And he informed the country of his desire and his willingness and his readiness to combat crime, combat corruption, and promised the House to bring to legislation very soon to the House for the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Mr. Speaker, the whole country was told to change the way that we do things. It was clear the need for the whole country to change our attitudes towards punctuality, sanitation, and the care of the environment. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this is the first address to the states of the nation, and this is to lay the foundation from ground zero. The situation is chaotic. The state of the nation is bad, but as the President said, he was not given the overwhelming mandate to come and complain. He has accepted the mantle, and he will deliver in hurry, with speed and dedication. On this note, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move.
In a rather sharp rebuttal, Member of Parliament for Ajumakon Enyan Esiam posited the state of the nation is so because the President only picked and chose to speak on issues which were politically favorable to his government.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to second the motion ably moved by the MP for Wenchi, Professor Gyan-Baffour, that this Honorable House thanks His Excellency the President for the message on the state of the nation, which he delivered to Parliament on Tuesday, 21st February 2017. Mr. Speaker, in doing so, Mr. Speaker, I would like to concentrate on the economic aspect of the state of his message on the state of the nation. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I'll refer you to page 3, paragraph 23. Mr. Speaker, I quote, Mr. Speaker, the promise to the Ghanaian people were, however, not kept. In fact, virtually all the targets under the IMF program, as of December 2016, have been missed. Fiscal discipline once again reared its head in the, Mr. Speaker, in 2016 election year. Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that this statement cannot be accurate. Mr. Speaker, I say this obviously for a reason that, the Speaker, in the last administration, I was at the Ministry of Finance as a Deputy Minister. The Speaker, I'm not aware that the International Monetary Fund have conducted a review of Ghana's program for the 4th and Faith Review. Mr. Speaker, being 2016 December, in fact 2016 June and 2016 December. Mr. Speaker, let me emphasize for the purposes of the records and give you the detail as the government of Ghana agreed with the IMF in terms of the target. Mr. Speaker, we had quantitative performance criteria, we had continuous performance criteria and monetary policy criteria. Mr. Speaker, indeed, under the quantitative performance criteria, there was a criteria for us to meet a primary fiscal balance, and the IMF established a floor of $2.083 billion. Mr. Speaker, the wage bill, we had a floor of 11.7 billion. Mr. Speaker, net international reserves of Bank of Ghana had a floor of 600 million. Mr. Speaker, what I'm making reference to a public document that can be found in any or either Bank of Ghana website, Ministry of Finance website, or the IMF website. Mr. Speaker, net change in stock of arrests, there was a ceiling of 2.3 billion. Mr. Speaker, continuous performance criteria, we agreed that the gross financing of Bank of Ghana to government and SOEs, there was a ceiling of 15.8 billion. Mr. Speaker, net accumulation of external arrests was supposed to be zero. Net accumulation of domestic arrests also supposed to be zero. Mr. Speaker, contracting or guaranteeing of new external non-concessional debt, we agreed with the IMF to be $1.175 billion. Mr. Speaker, monetary policy criteria. Mr. Speaker, we agreed that the central bank rate of inflation targeting for 2016 NDA is supposed to be 13.5 plus or minus 2. Mr. Speaker, I can say on authority that what His Excellency the President is saying cannot be accurate, because I know for a fact, Mr. Speaker, I know for a fact, without even the IMF coming to Ghana for a review, some of these quantitative criteria, continuous performance criteria and monetary policy criteria have indeed been met.
Let's go live back to Parliament and pick some other arguments on the State of the Nation address.
National security outfit without just cause. Yes. Mr. Speaker, we're saying that His Excellency the President should take note of these happenings and issue stern orders to his security apparatus to deal with the issue squarely. Additionally, it is important that the task force that was set up by the Chief of Staff to retrieve quotes, stolen assets belonging to the state should be made known so that criminals do not take advantage of the existence of such a task force to unleash mayhem on members of the unsuspecting public. Mr. Speaker, I wish to make an allusion to the President's own statement, which was one that sought to commend this House for the expeditious manner in which his ministerial nominees were vetted. Yes, this honorable House deserves some commendation, but I recall that in 2012, when His Excellency President Mahama was elected as President of the Republic and came out with a list of his nominees, the conduct of the minority at the time was to boycott the entire vetting of President Mahama's nominees. And so I didn't have the privilege of having members of the minority at the time partake in my vetting. That clearly was an act which, with hindsight, I know they would want to regret and apologize for their misconduct at that time. Mr. Speaker, let me turn my attention to the President's call for the setting up of an independent or special prosecutor's office to deal with corruption in this country. As a party, we welcome the initiative. Yes. He should bring it on. Yeah. But I wish to remind His Excellency the President that Article 88 is very clear. Article 88 vests the prosecutorial powers of the state and the Attorney General. And so any proposed legislation, short of an amendment to Article 88, will not clothe the independent prosecutor with the independence that he or she will require to deal with issues of corruption. Mr. Speaker, the office of an independent prosecutor is not new to some of the jurisdictions that we draw inspiration from. And I'll make a reference to the United States. Yes, the United States has experimented with the office of an independent prosecutor. there have been some shortcomings that we can draw inspiration from. Mr. Speaker, we support the initiative. Yes. It should come on. But I am stating that the position of the prosecutor, the special prosecutor, should truly be independent. In the United States, Mr. Speaker, Justice Scalia had an opportunity to admonish his countrymen in Morrison and Olson, that is a Supreme Court decision in the United States, which clearly sought to...
Honorable Majority Leader.
Speaker.
So that was James Agaga, the former Deputy Interior Minister, also debating the State of the Nation address as well on the floor of Parliament. One major point he made is that President Akufo-Addo must check his security details. Still to come here on News Today on Joy News, former Power Minister Dr. Kwabena Donkor says he has no problem with the government listing some parts of the energy sector on the stock exchange, but it should not be Grico, which he says is the most profitable. Stay with us.